All right, Nintendo Switch, tons of stuff to talk about. We'll take these as they come. Xbox executives praise Nintendo Switch's innovation and bold vision. Analysts have mixed things to say, however, about Nintendo's future with the Switch. Anything you guys want to mention here, or should we...
Xbox executives praise everyone, so...
Dude, Phil Spencer's such a chill guy.
I know.
Yeah.
But as for analysts' comments, I think a lot of it has to do with them not having a lot of games to judge the Switch based off of, and certainly none of those games look wildly different than anything we saw on Wii U. And if Nintendo's
but there's King Boo now.
Yes, King Boo is going to single-handedly sell 20 billion Nintendo Switches.
You don't know how many industries he's got at his control. He's the whole king.
He's the king of ghosts.
Big market, untapped audience, Alex.
I know, right? Nintendo's selling to the dead, and then they're going to go vote. But I think investors are looking for that like big surprise game that's going to grab customers outside of Nintendo's circle, and that hasn't shown up yet. So I can totally see why they'd think, oh, well, this just looks like a Wii U that does something slightly different.
And also, I would think not knowing the price point yet might have some analysts hesitant and some investors hesitant to put much stock in the console.
Well, but who knows if the price point would be even more upsetting than what they're fearing.
This is true.
Nintendo only plans to ship 2 million Switch consoles at launch, and Switch won't be sold for a loss, but Nintendo is listening to fans on price. So what does that mean? Does it matter?
It means you should all tweet Nintendo and say $200, and even if they can't get there, they'll at least try.
Yeah, and then we'll end up with $250, which is really the price point I was hoping for.
I think it should be $200 if they want this to be a success. $250 if they want it to be successful with Nintendo fans. $300 if they want another dud.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Exactly.
On the 2 million shipments, if it launches in early March, this is a problem. Because this is what they expect to ship through the end of the fiscal year. But if it launches in late March, this could just be sort of the initial shipments 2 million, but then 2 weeks into April we get more kind of thing.
Sure.
So I really don't know whether or not this is going to be a problem at this point, but it's definitely less than what Wii U or 3DS shipped on their debut weeks.
I will add though that I think the 2 million Switch consoles forecast is largely based on production estimates, because I get the feeling, and I've heard this from other people that I've talked to who sort of peddle in rumors, Nintendo Switch is going to be really complicated to manufacture. So I could totally see that being a supply issue and not a demand issue.
Yeah, with all the different components especially.
All right, features, etc. Nintendo Switch supports Amiibo. Thumbs up.
Surprise.
Nintendo Switch will support Unreal Engine 4. Also thumbs up. We heard this before. Just confirmation. Nintendo confirms that Switch is not backwards compatible with 3DS or Wii U. Obviously, it does not have an optical drive.
Yeah. And I definitely would rather they remaster 3DS games instead of
Me too.
just trying to make them compatible.
The Joy-Con grip accessory may not come bundled with Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch won't function as a second screen like the Wii U gamepad does. It's one or the other. And Let's Play Video Games reports that one of the Joy-Cons has an IR pointer to replace the touchscreen when you're playing Switch on the TV if you're using something like, let's say, a gamepad feature that is in a Wii U port.
Yeah, no real surprises here, I would say.
Yeah.
The IR pointer thing was kind of weird just because it sounds like it's on the bottom of the controller, in which case you'd have to hold it kind of weird. But I think in games that are that touch heavy, that won't matter so much because you probably wouldn't be pressing the buttons at the same time you're using touch anyway.
It's already a weird controller,
so we'll see
though.
how it works out.
Mm-hmm. I think that the Joy-Con grip should absolutely come with the console, especially because the Pro Controller probably will not. If the unit only has... Well, actually, if you have to have the unit outside of the base, I think a lot of people are going to want a more official controller than just two little tiny remote things that feel probably weird to hold, I'm guessing.
I would bet that it will come bundled in America, maybe not in Europe, and probably not in Japan.
Yeah, that's fair. The only other thing I was going to say is the Switch dog, the Switch puppy with the...
Oh, God.
You need the grip controller for that, and that right there is the best mascot Nintendo has ever invented. For a console, obviously, not for a video game character. But they did it by accident. It's the Nintendog.
The doggest memes.
I feel like I just stumbled on something big right there.
Merchandising.
Bethesda won't confirm that Skyrim is coming to Nintendo Switch, and there are currently no plans to bring Mass Effect Andromeda to the Switch either. To make things weirder, Nintendo said you shouldn't assume that the Nintendo Switch reveal trailer represents real game footage. I'm guessing because they'll still be refining things. Hopefully that has nothing to do with the fact that Skyrim was there and they're not announcing it's coming to the console.
I mean, also, they won't be just taking video clips and overlaying them onto another video clip. It'll be actually playing on your TV, and so it'll look
really
like it's playing on your TV instead of like an image they overlaid on a video.
Sure. But an unnamed third party reportedly is porting their PS4 games to the Switch, so bit of a mixed bag for software. Do you guys think that's Skyrim not being confirmed means anything, or I think that's probably just some red tape.
Yeah,
I think. Well, we saw another third party. I think it might have been Take-Two, basically say the exact same thing with the exact same words. Mm-hmm. So they're probably spoon-fed a PR statement.
It seems like this is sort of the planned PR response that they all have to say.
Yeah.
Sure. Let's see. Nintendo says that the Switch is a home gaming system first and foremost. They said they will keep making new 3DS games after the Switch launches. Let's Play Video Games reports that the Switch will not come sold as a standalone handheld unit at launch. And Laura Kate Dale reports that the Nintendo Switch has around 3 hours of battery life. So a lot of this is sort of pointing in the direction that Switch is probably supposed to mostly be a home console and is meant to be able to be taken on the go, but is not meant necessarily to replace the 3DS as your handheld gaming system.
Yeah, and we've heard that Nintendo sort of internally debated the idea of allowing it to be, of offering a standalone handheld model at launch, but they decided against it, at least for the launch period, because they wanted to keep their marketing concise and, keep the vision for the console. Hey, this is a home console you can take on the go. And they thought offering multiple products at launch would be confusing. But apparently this is still something that could possibly happen down the line.
Yeah, I think that's a good move, especially because it looks like the base doesn't really have any components in it besides maybe a USB port and some HDMI type stuff, probably some better online connectivity features.
Yeah, and I'm glad they're positioning as a home gaming system because it seems like their big play is to say, home gaming systems don't just have to be hooked up to the TV anymore. In fact, you're not even using your TVs as much as you used to, so why would we tether it to the TV?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's really taking your home gaming system with you and not having a portable that you sometimes use with the TV.
Right.
And as for the 3 hours of battery life, that information came from an Ubisoft employee who was referring specifically to a dev kit, but they said that they were told that the final product will be pretty similar and that they shouldn't expect major changes. And a Nintendo source also described the battery life as, quote, mediocre.
Here we get to the big guns. Nintendo is revealing the Switch's price, its launch lineup, and more with a live event in Japan on January 12th. It will be live streamed for audiences at home. 2 days later, they're letting fans go hands-on with the Switch in an event in Japan. And in the West, Nintendo says they plan to let fans try the Switch before it launches.
Yep, sounds about right. I kind of wish they had the hands-on events, during the holiday season when people will be at shopping malls and stuff.
Sure.
But I get it. It's not going to be something they can buy. So.
Sure. And for those of you who really missed the days where Nintendo would pull out the big stops at E3 with those big extravagant live shows, this is what you're going to want to pay attention to.
Yep, it's going to be a bit of a wait, but it sounds like it'll be a pretty big show. And we don't have an exact time for it yet, but it's probably going to be somewhat late at night on the 12th because it's being advertised as taking place on the 13th in Japan. So it kind of sounds like a 12th in the West, or late night 12th in the West, and then early morning 13th in Japan.
Which I will totally accept because that means I don't have to take off work.
Hey!
Money!
Hello everybody, thank you for listening to this Nintendo Week clip, NWC. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to us here on YouTube for more highlights and discussion videos from Nintendo Week podcast, or subscribe to us on iTunes for weekly breakdowns of all your Nintendo news, discussion segments on subjects, games, and more, and tons of other features. Thanks for listening, and we will see you tomorrow with another NWC.